This will be a quick presentation on the Meehan's journey with electrification. Shortly after retiring, we downsized to a smaller home, and one of our goals was to minimize the use of fossil fuels. To that end, we purchased a modular home, factory built and super insulated. We faced our house and our garage south and had a 28 solar panel array installed on the garage. We installed air-to-air heat pumps, and we installed all electric appliances. How have our solar panels been doing, you may ask? Well, we produce about 54% of the electricity we use. For the 46% that we have to purchase, that cost us about $1,600 last year. And that's the only fuel we use. We don't purchase any fossil fuel. Our solar cost $24,000 in 2019, and through tax incentives, that was reduced to $9,000. And we calculate that to be about a 5-year payback. The electricity we produce versus the electricity we purchase, this is a breakdown by month. And as you would expect, even though there's different outcomes for different years, we usually produce the most electricity from April through August or September. And most years, those months have an overage where we send more power to the grid than we use. However, this year is based on, this graph is based on last year, which we attribute to the AJ effect, which is having our son and daughter-in-law living upstairs and using quite a bit more electricity, but that's another story. We heat our house with heat pumps, and particular units we use are Mitsubishi hyperheat pumps, which are cold weather heat pumps with 100% efficiency down to -5 degrees and some amount of efficiency down to -13. The key technology for these units is something called a reversing valve, as well as a lot of magic. But the reversing valve allows the technology that was used for just central air conditioning or air conditioning units to also be used during the heating season. They reverse the process, and rather than producing cool air, they produce warm air. And we have an additional electric coil in our air handlers for those days that are super, super cold. When we purchased our units, there were no state or federal tax incentives. However, there are quite a few now, federal, state, and even NYSERDA units to help pay for these programs, rather. Our system cost $24,000 back in 2019, and at that time we estimated it would cost $19,000 for natural gas heating and traditional electric air conditioning. And there also are geothermal units that are available that are even more efficient, but cost a little bit more. One of our vehicles is a Prius Prime Plus plug-in. The other vehicle is a gas guzzling pickup, but that's a story for another day. For the most part, the Prius operates on a hybrid electric vehicle with a small gas engine and an electric motor. The electricity is produced through braking and by the actions of the engine. And for our particular model, there's also an extra battery which can be plugged in at home and charged, and gives us an extra 25 free miles. When Elizabeth was working in Ballston Spa, and we also live in Ballston Spa, she was able to charge the battery every night and pretty much drive to work and home and around a little bit without using any gas. And we estimate we get about 55 miles a gallon just on the hybrid, in hybrid mode, and even better when you use the electric plug-in. And what are our hopes and dreams for the future to add to this journey? Well, we'd like to have more solar panels so we can increase that 50-something% production to 80 or 90%. We'd like to replace our current electric stove, which is starting to fail, with an induction unit, which is rated to use 70% less electricity. And we'd like to go with a heat pump version of a hot water heater. We'd like to replace that previously mentioned gas guzzling pickup truck with an electric version. I'd like to purchase a battery powered riding mower one of these days. And finally, have our son move out, which will reduce our electricity consumption dramatically. Thank you.